What's up, guys? Welcome back to FortressCraft Evolved. I'm Axon Evolved, and before we get started, do me a quick favor. Scroll down just a little bit. You'll see a subscribe box. If it's red, do me a favor. Click it, turn it gray. Costs you nothing, helps me out, helps the channel grow. With that out of the way, let's hop into this little mini kind of update, kind of slight tutorial. I just want to share with you guys some stuff that I've kind of found out as I'm trying to beat this game. So let's hop into this right now. So last time we kind of talked about the railgun and how we're going to need to set that up, because that's the end game. That is literally beating the game. There's nothing else after that. So in order to do that, we had to make, if we look at the parts here, right? If we look at the railgun parts, we have to make ultimate upgrade modules. And you can see we need 729 total. And, 9 takes 18. So it's basically a 2 per 1 railgun controller part ratio here. So really we need, what is that, 1,458 ultimate upgrade modules. Now, for those of you that don't know, ultimate upgrade modules require 10 charged lithium coils, 10 primary upgrade modules, and 10, I think they're alloyed upgrade modules. So you think to yourself, okay, that's kind of cool. Again, this is the most expensive part in the game because it also takes, to make an alloyed upgrade module, you need 10 titanium frames, 10 gold sheets, and 10 secondary upgrade modules. So you need 100 of each of these parts to make one ultimate upgrade module. So to help out with that, I tried to beef all this stuff up, right? So starting over at the nickel here, I just added a second line to try to speed things up. And these things are going constantly, right? I plussed up all our gold foil crafters. I beefed up the titanium housing crafting system. So it's still not fast enough. We're not getting enough feeding into this system, but it's working well enough while we're doing other stuff. And I think I'm about halfway done. Yeah, we've got a little over half of what we need. 729 is exactly half. So, knocking that stuff out. But to help out all this production, I did kind of make slight changes. You can see I added some more lines over here. Everything is pretty much dedicated to making those parts now, right? I've shut down all the crystal. I added some more smelters up here. So now you can see everything's running at 5. So everything has at least Mark 3 or Mark 4 forced inductions on it. And you can see I got some pipes going in here, kind of just trying to beef up whatever I can. Threw some pipes in down here. The nickel always seems to kind of flow fast enough, so I haven't touched that yet. But I also had to do a little bit of stuff down below when it comes to these. So let me go show you that real quick. So you can see we got some pipes going, we got stuff flowing. But if you didn't know, you can use trenchers on every kind of ore. So what I've done is I've just set up Mark III trenchers on all of our tier 2 ore. And I believe this is what gets it 100% efficient. So we're making plenty of ore. I had to go find new veins. We had a nickel vein down there. It ran out. So I ended up finding another nickel vein kind of over here where our gold was that ran out. So our nickel vein is down there, pumping up here. There's about 1 million or so, but it's at 100% efficiency. So that should be plenty. And then the gold vein that we've now replaced with is a gold vein that we had kind of explored in a very, I don't know, 20, 30 episodes ago. Something that I had dug out previously. And it's right over here. Again, Mark III trencher. So this is also about 1 million. So we've got, enough for what we need right now, I think. Can I get out here, please? Thank you. So that was kind of the solution to try to get as much of this ore, as efficiently as possible to feed the stuff we got going on. I could probably, honestly, beef this up more, but I think it's working enough for what we have going on. So it's really just a waiting game. I've literally been turning this game on and letting it run just to try to build those parts because it takes quite a long time. And I'm not willing to commit to just creating whole new, mine new deposits and all that stuff just to make those parts. So it's just a waiting game for that. But that's not why we're down here, right? That's not why we're playing this game right now. We are down here to kill some Cryo Spawners. So I've done a little bit since the last episode. I've killed a few Cryo Spawners. So let's go and take a look at kind of how that's worked. So as you'll notice, we have this long Death Star looking trench here. And I kind of have just done what I talked about doing, right? So we're kind of somewhere in the middle. The first cryoplasm spawner we killed was over there. It was the very first one. There's a corner one over there we killed. There's a middle one somewhere in here that we've killed. I think it was right about here. And all I've done is I've just done a perimeter loop, right? I've just built this long trench. Batteries connect with conduits that are going off those two geothermals. So, you know, 10,000 power per second, no problem. And just long tunnels. And, you know, here's a corner. We've killed this cryoplasm spawner. And then it just turns and goes all the way this way. And this location right here is the last cryoplasm spawner that we actually have killed. So, to kind of figure out where we are, our CPH is directly this way. So, in terms of which cryoplasm spawner this is, directly on the opposite side of the CPH from where we are right now was the first one. So, we've killed 1, 2 in the corner, 3 on that side, 4 in this corner, and 5 right here. So, there's only 3 cryoplasm spawners left, right? So the one we're working on now is over here. So let me go and kind of show you how we're doing that. Kind of the same thing, but this one actually provides some new challenges. So you see, we got a magma pipe flowing. You know, that looks normal, but something looks a little different. Once we get to about here, you'll notice that the pipe is orange only to right there, and for the rest it's blue. And all the way down here, it's still blue. So you can see we have the cryoplasm spawner exposed. But the issue that we're running into right now has to do with distances. So let me kind of explain a little bit with how the distances work in this game and all that kind of stuff. And I'll bring up some charts that I made. Very crude. Don't judge the workmanship there. But I'll bring up some charts to kind of explain what the issue is. So here is my very crude drawing of what we have going on down in the frozen factory, right? So this red circle, or this red square, excuse me, in the middle is our C5, right? And you can see that it's at coordinate 2580. And the way that the cryo spawners are placed has everything to do with where your C5 is placed. So if we go to the next iteration of this map, you can see that the cryo spawners that are in the 4 cardinal directions, right? So up, down, left, and right, are 320 blocks from the center of the C5, right? So that means that all the corner blocks, you know, you can't have that diagonal be 320, otherwise they'd be much closer. So those are just 320 blocks to the left or right or up or down, depending on how you want to look at it, from all of those cardinal direction cryo spawners, right? Now, the red circles indicate cryo spawners that we've already destroyed. And that's significant because if you look at the orange box, that is our Magma Bore. That's where it's placed. Obviously, none of this stuff is to scale. It's kind of just there for demonstration purposes. But there's a couple things that come into play here, right? Number one, your Magma Bore's placement is kind of important. I did not know this when I started, right? I didn't realize that there was a maximum distance. So you can go, you know, 256 blocks from the Magma Bore to your magma storage, right? So 256 to the magma storage. And then from the magma storage, you can go an additional 512 blocks to your cryo inferno. And if you add that up, the 256 plus the 512 plus the 3 distance that your magma storage is, you get a total of 771 blocks to get to your cryo inferno. Now, your cryo inferno actually has, I found out, I did some digging and I found this out. It has a 64 block range. So I guess you just need to have your cryo inferno within 64 blocks of the cryo spawner for it to count as attacking, which gives you a total block range of 835. Now, the issue I've run into is this. If you look here, I kind of did some of this math. Now, I have the coordinates on here to kind of illustrate the math a little bit better. But really, the distance I'm running here, I have to go 419 blocks down from the Magma Bore and 438 blocks over to get to the cryo spawner. Well, if you add all that up, that's about 800 and what? 850, 857, somewhere around there. Well, that's definitely a longer distance than 835 that we can go. So that kind of put me in a bit of a pickle, because if we're going off of the port that we've been going off of on the Magma Bore, we just simply cannot reach the cryo spawner in the bottom right hand corner. And that's, that's an issue for me. Obviously, we need to, I'm not going to build another Magma Bore. I'm just not going to do that. So I did some digging and I found something out, and let me show you what I found. So you can see where we were drawing our magma out of, which is this port right here, right? And this is the issue, right? This is just too far. If we're drawing magma from here, it's too far to get to that back corner. However, apparently you can draw magma out of any middle. So this is the exception. This is like the top layer. So remember, this is the 3-block high structure. So from this top part, this top layer in the center here, you can draw magma out. But I don't think you can do that, or maybe you can, on other faces. But you can draw magma out of other faces. And that's significant because if you look at it, remember, this is 33 blocks wide, right? 33. So what I've actually done is moved over here, and you can see I've got 2 pipes here, and they're not orange or anything. But if you look at the magma, the magma bore itself, you see at the bottom left there, it says failed to find magma storage unit, but search 3 meters, right? So the magma bore always counts itself as a 1 meter object. But if I were to add a couple more pipes here, maybe about, I don't know, this many, you'll see, well, now it's searching 9 meters, which means it's counting these pipes as connected. And that's significant because we just gained 33 blocks of range to get over to here. So what I've done is I've kind of preliminarily took some of this stuff apart to kind of reroute this. So what I need to do now is recreate my little pipe network here and hook everything up. And you can see magma, magma, magma. And so now it sees the magma storage unit. Now, in order to make this range up, I have to move where my magma storage unit was, right? So here's kind of the path I went. And I don't know, I'm not going to sit here and count all the blocks, right? So I'm going to disassemble this real quick. Now with this out of the way, I'm going to go back to the magma bore and see how long this pipe is. Because remember, I can go up to 256 pipes plus the 1 unit that the magma bore counts itself. So I have 220 units that I can go. So that means I have another, 37 range that I can get to. So now all I'm going to do, honestly, is I'm just going to kind of guesstimate here, right? So I'm going to connect this back up and just break it kind of somewhere, maybe here. Just arbitrary. I don't know how long that is, but it should be long enough, right? So let's go check the magma bore, and it's telling me it's gone 250. All right, so I know for a fact that I can go 7 more blocks to, 7 more blocks to get to the magma storage unit, right? So 1, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boom. So now I'm going to take these out, and that should be the maximum length, right? And we'll know here in a second. So I'm just going to put down my base for my magma storage unit, and we can see it is filling up. It's storing compressed magma, but it can't find the cryoplasm inferno turret, right? So now if we look, it's searching throughout the length of the pipe, and this is actually going to go longer. It's going to say this is longer because it's searching in both directions. So let's actually go check out our pipes now. And you can see now that our pipe is completely orange all the way down. And I have no idea kind of how many blocks we're going to actually get out of this, but let's just run a bunch more pipe and see where it stops. We are well within the 64 block range. So that's kind of nice. Looks like it gets us to here. I had actually placed this marker right here to show 64 blocks from the cryoplasm spawner to here. So because this is all new to me, I'm going to cut a couple blocks off. Actually, I take that back. I'm putting the blocks back. I'm just going to try putting the cryo inferno literally right here on the ground. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. you know, we're experimenting right now, you guys. You know, I want to do a little tips and tricks video, but I don't know about this, so let me see. Okay, so warning, regrowth. Okay, Cryo Inferno is out of magma. I wonder if I need. Okay, I think it's one too many. So let me get rid of this because that pipe, this pipe is the absolute maximum. So I need to move it back at least one block, I think. So let's do that and then rebuild. All right, what does it say now? Okay, so now it's burning the cryo spawner. It's very far away, but luckily we've already... I don't know if that'll kill you. I'm going to stay out of it because I assume it will. We've actually kind of already set up the defense here, so we don't need to do much. I just got to keep feeding it compressed freeze on every so often. And that's all it is to it. That is how you can get to these Cryo Infernos. So I guess this thing does have like quite the range, but you save yourself a lot of headache if you remember that you can only go so far in the first place, right? So the closer you can put your magma storage, or your magma bore, excuse me, to your CP, or not your CPH, your C5, the easier time you're going to have, because you know you can easily get to any cryo spawner if you're close to the C5, right? Because from the C5 to any cryo spawner is going to be a linear distance of no more than what, 640 blocks, and this can easily reach within that. So this was the only one that's actually going to be an issue. So we're going to be able to take this out pretty easy, and you can kind of see something I've done too. Since these are all in line, what I like to do is while they're still alive, I just throw down a little laser energy transmitter right there, and that shows me the line that they're on. So when I go and turn this trench to go that way and get the last two cryo spawners, it's actually like really, really simple. You know, I might even consider just going back to the first one and going over to the right, because that's not a super difficult way to do things. But I've already got this built, so you know I might just continue it. Who knows? But yeah, so that's kind of all I wanted to show you guys for this video. I want to get something out and you know, like, show you guys how I'm going about this, and you know, pass on this information that, you know, I was in the FortressCraft Discord. I've been Googling, I've been watching other people's videos to try to figure out all this information, and you know, I wanted to put it in a video so that if anybody is at this part of the game and they've realized that their stuff is, you know, possibly too far, this is a potential solution and how you can get magma out of different parts of the magma bore and kind of what your absolute maximum range is. So hopefully you guys found this a little bit helpful, slightly entertaining. If you did, let me know down below, because I'd love to hear, you know, do you guys like when I do these little videos? I don't know a ton about this game, but I can start, you know, doing stuff as I kind of figure things out, if that's something that you guys like. But so on that note, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and let me know down below again what you thought of this video. And with that, we'll see you in the next one.